It's your boy Crypto Blood, people. What's going on, YouTube fam? It is March 25th, 2018, and we're doing something a little bit new today. I'm going to do a hotline caller recap from last night's live stream. Just kind of condense everything into one reel so you guys can kind of hear what the people are saying. I had great conversations with a number of individuals last night that called in, so I will give you guys a full reel or recap of those conversations in just a moment here. But first, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to Crypto Scales. He said, can I get a little of that Lupe Fiasco Daydream in the queue? Man, my wife loves this track. So yeah, here you go, man. Good choice, Jason. I appreciate it for the song request today. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna do a hotline recap for today's video, and let me know what you guys think about that. If this is something you like, I'll make sure I do that after every hotline, or I should say off the chain episode. So before we do that though, let's take a look at the markets really quickly. Market cap is sitting at $329 billion. Bitcoin's dominance at 44% flat. Kind of a red day, honestly. And actually, I'll look at my manual TA chart. It's back below, and this actually happened as I was doing the live stream. Or no, it wasn't during the live stream, it was during my morning my two Satoshis from yesterday that we saw this candle do a bearish, basically engulf all of the gains from here. That's very, it doesn't look natural. Seems like some manipulation, not manipulation per se, but some whales are moving money around, and I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but we are back below 8,600. And again, I think we're gonna have to head lower here, people, unfortunately. I keep flip-flopping, but that's what I'm giving. You know, I'm going off of what the market is allowing me to read from these charts. So that's what we have. We're back below 8,600. I did check my algo before jumping on this video, and that is still showing a sell signal. It has a short position that it got in at 86 and some change. Actually, let me see if I don't have that up anymore. But yeah, sell signal going on right now. We'll see how that pans out. But that's pretty much it, people. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do, make sure you kind of give me some feedback in the comments below to kind of let me know if this is something I should be doing after the live streams on Saturdays every week. So hope you guys enjoyed this recap. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Holla. One yet. I'm gonna put that number on the screen. Looks like we do have a caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Talk to me.
Yeah, what's up? This is Rob, or I go by Truth Behind the Lies on YouTube.
Yeah,
there.
Truth. What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm good today. What's the word with you?
It's kind of. I think a lot of the government stuff just shows how scared they are. It's just do as much as we can, scare as many people into not, somebody, just a normal person looks up cryptos and they see all the things that all the negative things, and that's what they hope for.
So do you think you think they're playing like a little strategy here, game theory, and what I mean by that is, are they looking to scare people out of their position, like not out of their position, but scare people into showing their position as far as how much crypto they have, what they have?
I think it's a little both. I mean, most people, it's like when the FBI, they get most of their convictions by people volunteering information, not by actually doing their investigation. So what's the easiest way to get people to volunteer their information when they have really no tools to do so? They get people to volunteer everything, and then and then they have it, and they have to do less work, and because they don't have the means to do it, you know.
Right, right, and it's all on the back of our taxpayer dollars. So it's kind of it's kind of weird that, you know, it's kind of crazy because they're using our money to control us and doing it in an inefficient way. But we can't expect them to do anything in an efficient way, though. I don't think.
No, it's just like they're more worried about passing bills that give themselves raises than they are truly caring about the American people.
And great, and great health care, right? Lifetime health care.
Right, exactly. yeah. They don't have to take the health care we have to take. They can take whatever health care they want. So they're just too busy about worrying about themselves. It's a shame because if they actually embraced it, think about how great it would be for the country and for everybody.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? Because we need, as America, man. I can only speak. It sounds like you're in America as well. We need
Pennsylvania.
Okay, Pennsylvania. We need to get a leg up in the world economy. We are so behind, man. It's a shame. Like, yeah, we have those, what you want to call maybe like unicorns. You know, we have the Teslas, we have the Apples, the Amazons, but it's just not. It's not what it used to be, right?
I mean, look at some of those companies. There's a lot of companies that get corporate welfare. That imagine if they gave me and you, $10 million. What could we do with it? Right. You know, Tesla. They're one of those companies. You know, Boeing, Walmart. Amazon last year didn't pay any taxes.
Yeah. So
imagine if, we didn't have to do those things. And, a lot of it is on the individual person. They got to get out there and do it. But there's perks to certain people that we don't get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
I think the greatest reason I got into cryptos was because of the banks. The idea of that someday, like the mining and stuff. I don't know. I just started looking into that, but it's almost like you're doing the transaction fees, right? So in a way, you're a bank.
Yeah. Well, you can kind of think of it as almost like you're part of the SWIFT network, because you're kind of facilitating and you're making money off of, the transmission of the currency. So you think of it more of that, and then in return for mining, you do get, you earn revenue from it. So
right. So that's pretty, it's pretty innovative, and it's pretty it's amazing to me when all the different things that come out. And I just wish they would embrace it more, so we could, we're a couple steps from some of the cities in this country being, third world country.
Absolutely.
You go take some pictures of some of these cities in this country and put it
come to my city. Come to Detroit. It's better now, but it's still they're showing Detroit in a different light nowadays. But shoot, man, you roll through some of those hoods, man. It's
I started mowing lawn. I have a regular job, and then I started mowing lawn part time just to get into cryptos over the summer.
Nice.
And I started going. I did it in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh my God!
Yeah. There's you mow a lawn at one house, and then the next 5 or 10 houses would be abandoned, and they're burnt, and they're whatever. And you got what was just, I started talking to people, 'cause of course I don't live there, but started talking to people you start wondering what's going on. Where's this money going? It's infuriating.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
So, but,
Well, thanks for the call in, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.
You're two Satoshis on that. And I don't know, man. I'm hoping that cryptos can liberate us. I got another caller, so I'm going to get to him. But definitely make sure you call in next week. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Talk to me. Where you calling from?
Crypto Blood.
Yeah.
I'm in Los Angeles, Crypto Blood.
All right, LA.
LA, baby.
All right. What's the word, man? What's your name?
I'm Jeff.
Jeff. Okay, Jeff. What's good with you, man?
You know, it's funny. The guy who just called in before me, he kind of took the words out of my mouth. But listening to him, you know, I've been involved with crypto for a couple years now.
Okay.
And I'll just say that the word that comes to mind to me is that the Fed, the government, all these things they're reactionary. And what I feel right now is just intuitively, and also, you know, I've read the Cliff High reports.
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of information from different sources on crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't see them as the gospel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't.
They're tools. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what came to mind was what Cliff said, is that, you know, these institutions are reactionary. Mm-hmm. And I think what they saw, I mean, I have a lot of friends who were calling me crazy because I got into Bitcoin through gold and silver. I was trading gold and silver and miners. And I was telling people, you know, you should buy some Ethereum, you should buy some Bitcoin. And people were just, and then as soon as it exploded, I got people coming out of the woodwork calling me, and they're like, dude, I should have bought it. But what's funny is now they're calling me again because they're freaking out because they haven't had time. Like, you're an OG, you're obviously been in this for a while. You're not fazed by a little dip in Bitcoin.
No. But I will say I have sympathy for those who got in, like in the scenario you're talking about, though, which is normally what happens with these people. Aren't dumb. What I'm getting ready to say is not that they're dumb. It's called dumb money.
No.
Smart money gets in first, and then the dumb money gets in at the peak. That's just, the masses usually get in at the end, and when there's no one else to sell to, or no one else to buy, then that's when we start heading down. So that's just market. That's just how it works, right?
It is, and I think someone was saying, I don't know if this is Cliff High too, but Americans tend to chase. It's like the Chinese and different cultures, they buy at the bottom, you know, and they'll buy when it's flat. And it's weird. It's a weird dynamic. Is that Americans buy the tops? I mean, I don't know why we're so stupid or dumb money. But,
I don't know, man. Is it because we got it? We've had the silver spoon for so long.
You know what it is?
We're not hungry.
Like I think it's a psychological thing. If you've traded before, which you have, there's a certain dopamine that is released in the brain when you buy something and you commit. There's an excitement when you push that buy limit order. You're so committing your capital. Mm-hmm. And I think cryptocurrency is just energized with that right now. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of smart people that bought Bitcoin at close to 20K, and I don't think they're stupid people.
No.
I think they were feeding off of that energy.
Yep. And they were listening to CNBC.
Exactly, which
they were
turn
listening
off your
to
TV.
MSNBC. They were listening to CNN, which, I mean, like you said, I've been in the game for about 5 years, bro, and I've seen these people since 2013. I swear, every year it's crashed, it's dead, it's over. It's, you know, you had experts, and these are smart individuals. They'll come on CNBC, they'll come on Fox Business. They know what they know. They didn't know what cryptocurrencies were, and they were trying to place valuations on it, saying that it was the biggest bubble ever. And this is at $200, bro. This is at $400. This is at $70. They were saying
they've been saying, and you know, the thing is too, I'll say this to anybody who's listening out there who bought too high. Look, I remember buying Bitcoin at like 300 or 400 bucks, and I remember buying it at 1,000, and it crashed to what did it crash to? 400. And everybody has done it, man, and it sucks.
You saying the Mount
It
Gox
is like
one?
a pain. What?
You saying the Mount Gox event when
Yeah,
it went down to like 90 bucks, 100 bucks.
It hurts, man. But if I had sold then, and I'm not a day trader, I don't day trade crypto. I'm basically a hodler, and you know, I just don't have time to trade right now with my other business. But if I had sold then, I never would have seen the gains. And so if you're in this, you know, and this is, I'm going to just throw this out there too, is that the reason I got into this was an alternative to a system that I saw that was stealing my buying power on a daily basis. And if you don't do the research and jump down the rabbit hole of why cryptocurrency is one of the, it's not the end all, but it is part of the solution. You will not be committed when it dips. You'll sell low and buy high.
I've said that.
And you've said that, crypto. I've checked out for a while. I'm Love Gold for All. I've commented here and there.
Man, you're spot on. Like, that is it, bro. Like, if people don't understand the real reason they're in it, they will get scared out of it when these pullbacks come. I didn't wake up, bro. I didn't wake up until 2008. 2009 after the crash. When I saw all of that, I started researching, and this probably goes for a large majority of the awakened community. We didn't get it until it was almost over, and then we saw that it was a house of cards. So definitely, that's you're so right on that.
You know, another thing, and I don't want to take up too much time, and there's other people, is that, you know, I'll comment a little. I have followed. I know there was this whole thing, you know, with Jay Snip and all these psychics and stuff.
Sure.
I wanted to say something about that, even though it's off topic. It is
go ahead,
kind of connected.
It's whatever we're talking about.
I know, it's free form. I love it, man. There's a lot of, I have friends that have visited psychics and this and that, and I want to say this about all this, is that's a possible reality. Just like Cliff's web reports, they're not telling you what the price is going to be. I believe, and this is my own intuition and my own research, is that we have a collective unconscious. And when enough people focus on an event happening, like Bitcoin going to this amount and then crashing, it almost creates that future reality. So all these people, they're going through tea leaves. They're asking, you know, every time, I hate how they get Cliff on and they're like, well, how's this coin going to do? It's like, and they don't get that Cliff's not about the money, man.
Oh my God, he's not, man.
He's about the revolution. And if you don't understand this is a revolution, then you're not awoken. You're not awake. And that's not a put down. That's saying just go into yourself and really start to think about what you do when you pay your taxes, what you do when you pay for those bank fees. Why is a cup of coffee $5 when it was only 50 cents a couple years ago? You know, when you start like that, it all makes sense, man.
Yeah, man, Jeff, man, you are on it, bro. You definitely know you're awakened for sure, and I appreciate people like you following me and you know, conversing. This is good, man. I love this. So yeah, man, you gotta get the people to wake up and understand. I tell people who want to tell other people, they say, well, how do I get people to get into cryptocurrencies and alternative currencies? I say have them watch like a Mike Maloney series on money. I think that'll be a good basis for people to say, kind of wake up and see, oh man, this is a bunch of bull, you know. And so and you'll go through that stage that we've all been through, which is depression and feeling powerless. And I think that crypto provides, you go, holy shit, I'm in a deflationary asset. I'm in something that is actually giving me value for my hard-earned energy. Because it's energy, man. You're putting energy into something and increasing it. That's the way it should work. Yes, sir, Jeff. That's my rant, dude. Hey, man, that's a good one. I don't know how people are going to follow up with that. We can end the show right now. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, because you affect more people than you realize, man. You really are. You're changing this world, and people are listening, and people are wanting this, man, because they don't know what they're looking for, but when they hear it, they're like, oh shit, I'm logging on, I'm subscribing to Crypto Blood. So anyway, man, I appreciate the support, and definitely, man, please call in again in the future. I love to have people. I will. Yep. And good luck to you and all the Cryptonauts out there, and God bless you all, because, you know, this ain't going anywhere. It's going nowhere but up. You
So.
too, Jeff. And someone said a Jeff and CB interview. We may need to do that, bro. Have you? Because I like having subscribers come on anyway to the show.
Well, I'll tell you,
pre-recorded.
One more. I'm in LA, and if you guys are ever out here, there's some Bitcoin groups. You can find me. I'm Jal Love Gold for All on YouTube. And it's great to actually, in this computer world, to get together with people in Los Angeles. And it's amazing the connections that I've made. Not just, great coins here and there, but connecting with just energy workers. You'd be so surprised the people that come to crypto. You know what's up, man. So anyway, we're all one. We're all brothers. So, get together with your brothers and form a group.
All right, man. Sounds good, Jeff. Thanks a lot. Righty, caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Where you calling from?
What's up, Crypto?
What's the word, bro?
Hey, this is CI Massive from Cleveland. Oh, man. You know what? I'm with a little dude today, and I just happened to turn the YouTube video on, and I saw you, and I'm like, I've been in the web by chat for a while, and I just love the work you did. I just want to tell people, man, just keep your head strong about what's going on in the market right now. I've only been in crypto for about, I would say, winter of 2016. I got into Bitcoin.
Okay.
Bought my first Bitcoin.
It's a long time in this game, though.
Yeah. And besides that, before that, I was in the gold market since 2008 when the market crashed.
Yeah.
So, I was buying when gold was $1,900 and silver was $50. So, I know the pain. I know the pain that everyone's going through right now.
Yeah, I was buying most of my silver at 30 bucks, 28, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, people gotta hold their heads up. So, what do you think? Where do you think we're going though, as far as price?
Here's the
speculation.
Thing. What people need to pay attention to, and I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as politics, I don't follow it that much anymore, like I used to, because I think it's a joke. Personally, I didn't vote last year for either or because it don't matter, the fundamentals hasn't changed.
Nope.
I think a lot of people don't know this. That
fundamentals haven't changed. We're bankrupt.
Seriously, the debt's not getting any smaller. Like Trump just passed the omnibus bill for $1.3 trillion.
Horrible, man. Horrible.
Exactly. So our debt, the fundamentals hasn't changed. Our debt is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So next year, what is it going to be? $2 trillion, and the year before that, $3 trillion. The year before that, $4 trillion. Nothing's changed. So crypto is a safe space to be in.
Do you think someone said in the chat rooms just a second ago, and I saw it. I don't know how financially savvy you are, but do you think margin calls in the equities market will cause people to sell crypto, or will it be the opposite? Will people flood into cryptos from margin calls? Because the stock market has been crashing heavy, and that's highly leveraged. I think we're the most leveraged that we've been since 2008, I believe.
Yeah.
So do you think it's gonna, or do you think people, because they're getting margin calls over there, is that going to affect us in the cryptos, or will it be a benefit?
I think the margin call is going to affect us short term.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fundamentals personally, like I said, hasn't changed. I think they're at the opportune time, and obviously you've been following Cliff for a while. I've been following Cliff for about 3-4 years now.
Okay, yep.
And if you look at 2018, he keeps talking about inflationary. Everything is inflationary. You notice the more that you're seeing the debt increase and everything is inflationary, the more angst they have against crypto, because I personally think the banks are positioning themselves trying to get the weak guys out of their positions, meaning you and I, or the normal people.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
The banks already have control of the fiat. They know the fiat is dying right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know the fiat is dying. They know the next transition is freaking cryptos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're going to do as much as they can to scare the little man out of it, so they could keep that being in control, keep their hand.
Yeah.
Because honestly, besides a few people, how many people do you know have gold and silver? Honestly, like
not many.
To go into that transition,
yeah,
it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot easier for us to go into the crypto world because of the technology that's coming forward.
Because of the technology and the is it fungibility? I don't know if that's the proper, because you know money has like 5 or 6 main characteristics, but people can spend crypto right away.
Exactly.
It can look it's very liquid. So yeah, I think the adoption on the crypto side is going to be way higher and faster than PMs. But I got a couple more callers, man. I appreciate the call in, and look for the call in the future here. My man from Cleveland.
CB, always good to work, man. I follow the website, follow your program, follow everything, man. You're doing a good job out here. All right.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Caller on the line, it's your boy Crypto Blood. What's good? Where you calling from?
Crypto Blood, what's up? This is Steve from Buffalo.
Buffalo. You've called in before, Steve, right?
Yeah, I talked to you last week twice.
Yep. What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, so like the market is still like, pretty bearish.
Yes.
There's that like undertone of bearishness, but all the news in the past couple of weeks, in my opinion, is not bearish. I'm not saying it's fully bullish, but I mean it's not this doom and gloom, but the market still feels that way. It's like shaky. And
sentiment, there's been a lot of good news coming out for cryptos, but the problem to me, man, I think sentiment is it's bad. Like I don't see anything like we're not looking forward to anything like we were in 2017 and 16 and before.
Well, I think we're looking to gain real credibility still. Now we have some credibility, like it's being talked about. Like, because, they are talking about it pretty heavy on CNBC, I think the Squawk Box.
Correct.
And so, like, you're starting to see it pop up, but, this Kevin O'Leary, which you seem to think, not you, but, the internet sleuths think, could be the Ritz and Veritasium. So, like, we're waiting for product. Once a real product comes out and something that can show the world that like we're not this underground market, like that's what we're waiting for, and in 3 weeks that could be it. Like that could be the start of what we're looking to see here.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is the year for sure. This is going to be the breakout year to set the stage for more so not cryptocurrencies, and that's what may shock people, but more so the crypto assets, the tokens, man, the utility tokens. Well,
the way it's cryptocurrencies and crypto tokens and calling it assets, I think that confuses a lot of people. I mean, not us in the space,
right?
But there's only a handful of real cryptocurrencies, or trying to be currencies because they're not actual currencies yet. But like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero. But most of it is tokens. So like the mainstream doesn't really seem to understand what's what, and like they all just think, oh my God, there's 1,500. 2,000 currencies. Like, not really. Right. That's not really what's going on here. Like, there's platforms being built for like the new economy, or what we seem to think of the new economy. But like in your comment section there, like I was kind of talking about, like this week Congress came out with the 2018 joint economic report, and they had a whole.
Oh, that was you in the chat room saying that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't tell you the whole report, but like at the end, they have like some bulletin points, and it's nothing negative. Like they called for clarity from the regulators. They called for government to find ways that blockchain can be useful, and they called for the education of Congress and the citizens, basically. So I just don't see how the market is, because as I talk to you, and I know that there's still this iffiness going on, but I just don't see it. But I think the budget, I mean, hell, keep spending, blow it right out. That just helps us. That's where we're heading anyways. I mean, let's get this party started.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So you're exactly right on that part about the budget, them increasing the the bill that
spend it all.
Yeah, spend it all, because essentially what does that do for us? That lowers the value of the dollar and increases the value of true assets and in currencies. Yep. So. Right.
So then some of your callers, and I'm not trying to harp on Jay Snip because he's not here to like defend himself.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree.
Psychics are a tool. It doesn't matter if you believe it all the way. No one knows, right? We don't know heaven or hell. There are weird things going on beyond our control.
Agreed.
The problem I have is we are a market that is trying to gain credibility.
Yes.
And it's one thing to talk about it. It's another, like, for example, he had a remote viewer, right? So he put a video out saying he had big news. He's going to tell us in a couple hours. He just want to confirm. So I'm all excited. Like, oh, what's going on? Like, what's coming out? So I tune in. He's, passing off, remote viewing is actual news. And, I just have like that really irked me. Because, we need credibility. And, he can do what he wants, and it's not fair for me to talk about him because he's not here.
Right.
But we need credibility. And you can speculate, Cliff Eye, he does his thing, but it's not straight from his mind. He has a whole program with software, and he mines data and all that. That's a little different than
his is a little. It's different. Yeah, it's different. It is different. What Cliff is doing is different because, like you said, there's a method to the madness. You know what I mean?
But you just can't pass it off as news. We're trying to get there. It just, I don't think it helps anything. I really don't.
Yeah,
and I do tend to believe some of that stuff. And it gets okay, but it's not news. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, so I don't want to, like you said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't want to bash Jay Snip unless he wants to call in and talk. We can definitely do that, but I'm not convinced with the whole. When you mix financial gains with psychic abilities, that's when
you can talk about it. Just don't call it news.
I guess, I just become a little skeptical because my whole thing is if you can predict, that's like if you can predict what the lottery numbers are going to be. I've heard people say you can't do that because it's a truly random event and this and that. I don't know, but at least with Bitcoin, if you have a psychic or a remote viewer that can say, I know Bitcoin will be this price in 6 months, 12 months, whatever, then would you tell anyone that? Wouldn't you just take that for economic benefit and gain for yourself? Wouldn't you have gotten into Bitcoin when it was under $1?
I understand the whole premise of psychics.
Okay, help me understand.
Family history.
Help me understand. I'm not saying that I don't believe in them. I do believe some people do have that ability for sure. Absolutely.
Well, right. So, I'm trying not to go too far out the deep end with you.
Hey, it's
I was
fine,
born
man.
a spiritualist.
I got one more caller. I got one more caller on the line. I just want to let that person know. Please hold. I do see you, so we're gonna get to you next. But go ahead, my man.
Yeah, so I've had some very, very spiritual stuff happen in my life. Some things that were actually pretty creepy.
Yep.
I had to see priests. I had some, I actually had a spirit hit me. Was hitting me a lot. And I'm a big dude. I love to scrap. And I was scared shitless.
Right.
And plus, I also, so from my point of view, me personally, I don't expect you guys to believe that. That's okay. I know for myself,
that's all that matters, right?
What I've gone through. Now, psychics, I live somewhat by, the most psychic, town, where, all the mediums go, and that is Lilydale, New York. So, my mom used to, teach classes there. She passed away. She predicted her own death. She wrote down how she was going to die, and that's how she basically died. So, I have a very strong family history in that, and I'm a very spiritual person. But every psychic, and they'll even tell you, and they'll tell you that it doesn't work for financial gain because it's not
I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Right. So it doesn't work. I'm it might give. I can't talk for them because I'm not like a medium or something like that. But that's not what it's for. It's not for like personal gain. So for them to come out and be like, oh, like this is gonna be $20,000, it's like you can speculate all you want. Just don't. There's a lot of gullible people out there. You can't be passing that as actual news, especially when we're trying to grow. Like it just really bugs me.
Yeah, so you're confirming
that,
what I understood about it as well. That's exactly how
right.
I knew of the psychic abilities. It can't be necessarily used for financial gain for whatever reason. I don't know why it doesn't work that way.
No, like it's more about having like a how can I word it? Like a deep like intuition or
right.
like yeah, I can't really word it like that, but like it's a feeling, it's a presence or this or that. But like no psychic's ever like been like, oh, these are the lotto numbers. Like you might as well call Miss Cleo. Like you're out of your mind. So I'm not trying to bash on psychics. I just don't get it, and I just think it's more hurtful. And then I just want to say like one other thing. Like when you're talking about like Snowden there. Like during the 2016 presidential race, like it actually bummed me out to see congressmen call him a traitor. Like
we've lost.
No, man, like that's what a real American.
We've lost our way, haven't we?
Do.
Yeah, we've lost our way, man. We've lost our way in this.
They're all about power.
Country. Yeah,
it's all about the power of the government.
Correct.
And not about the people, because I mean, like clearly, like they don't care about the Constitution. I mean, they try to like erode that at every step of the way, from search and seizure to free speech, gun rights, you name it. Like they don't, like they're a power apparatus at this stage. Like they're not. I mean, some have like the fundamentals, but so it just really bummed me out because like that's like you are empowered because the American people say you empower. You work for the people. You're not in charge. We are in charge, and you represent us.
Possibly at least a little bit more. I don't know, to what extent,
well,
power corrupts. Yeah.
That's the basic premise of government. Like,
that's the basic premise, right?
Like they're not oligarchies. Like they're not kings. Like you are represented to, protect your citizens and do the will of the people, and. Like the NSA was spying on Americans. Like we have a Fourth Amendment. Like you're spying on us, you're taking our data. So someone who has free speech like tells you, and you're a traitor to America. It's like, no, you're a traitor. You're a traitor. So that's just how I feel. I mean,
hey man, Steve, I appreciate.
You're a fleet of Russia. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
Isn't
that ironic?
Yes.
That's
like it's
crazy.
a complete 180.
Yep.
It's a complete 180 from. The American dream 30, 40 years ago.
And I'm not saying Russia is in any way less corrupt than us, but that tells you, though, that does tell you something, man, when my man got to go to Russia to seek.
The American government has definitely lost its way.
Man.
But, I don't see any bearish things coming from my governments, really. I mean, like the SEC is, kind of doing their thing. But, I mean, it's not like they're outlawing anything or, declaring us all criminals.
Right.
So I don't understand why the market's so skittish. I just don't.
Well, Steve from Buffalo, thanks for the call in as always, man. I appreciate chatting with you as I did last week, man. So definitely, if you have anything on your mind next week, hit me up.
I'll be calling.
All right, bro. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in and where from?
What's up, CB? It's John from Tampa.
Hey, John. How are you, bro?
I'm doing great. I'm Blockchain Nation in the chat room.
Blockchain Nation. All right. I saw you in there.
So you ready to talk about some Snowden stuff?
Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's get into the Snowden. And what's on your mind about Snowden, bro?
Yeah, dude, I just found your channel probably a couple weeks ago through a friend, and I'm pretty excited about it because there's actually a lot of stuff that's been on my mind lately about crypto. And it seems like even the diehard old school crypto guys I talk to, no one wants to really talk about, possibly some of the darker, more sketchy possibilities behind all of it. But so I don't remember if it was in the clip of the video that you shared, or I ended up watching the whole thing because it was just so interesting. but he talked about, Snowden talked about the problems with having an open public ledger. And if you listen to a few of the older, bigger guys in the space, McAfee, Andreas, they'll all talk about the issues with having a fully public ledger. And so it's kind of got this thing where it's anonymous or pseudonymous, as Snowden said. You know, you can, you know, you're just a public address, but, you know, your name, your location is not technically attached to it. But they'll all talk about the dangers of if you have all of your transactions out on one ledger and you have governments who are capable of tracking everyone else around you, are you really anonymous? So
exactly. So
I wanted to.
Yeah. So for me, man, this, I know people aren't going to want to hear this, but this is why I think Bitcoin is actually a. We don't know who created it, right? I don't care if it was the NSA.
Right.
I don't care if it was a CIA. There's been rumors of CIA, whatever. I think it could have possibly been a CIA team that created Bitcoin, and the actual code or project got leaked. It got in the hands of, you know, the good people, if you want to call it, or some good guys, and they leaked it and put it out there possibly. But it doesn't matter. It's open source. However, here's my thing. I think Bitcoin could possibly be that mechanism, that avenue for government to really come into the crypto space. They can use that as a conduit to really start tracking people.
You mean Bitcoin itself?
Bitcoin itself, not cryptocurrencies, just Bitcoin itself.
Yeah.
I think Bitcoin itself could be hijacked, man.
Yeah. So that was kind of the first part of my question, which you answered, is do you think it's possible or even probable that it was, whether it was created by the NSA or could just possibly be monitored by them? I mean, I think it's interesting that the NSA created the SHA-256 that Bitcoin's run off of.
They sure did. But
it's kind of odd.
To kind of be the contrary on that is SHA-256 is it's used a lot. I mean, SSL certificates use SHA-256. So SHA-256 is used so broadly. I don't know if that is the correlation. Maybe it was just used because it's so well used, and so therefore we know that it can't be cracked. I don't know.
Yeah, but so the second kind of part of that question is if it's even a remote possibility, you know, that they could be involved in even monitoring it, even just based off of the public ledger aspect of it, then what does that mean for what does that mean for crypto as a community? How do we handle that, and how should that shape our involvement? Because if you think about it, the whole idea of cryptocurrency, everyone's happy to talk about it being a revolution to the fiat system, but if there's a possibility that it's something different, it's weird to me that no one wants to talk about that. If that's the whole underpinning of this new movement that we're making, you know what I mean?
People don't want to talk about it because they're really not about that life. Like, seriously, I think that the early adopters were the ones that were about that life. But as we got more commercialized, we got more investment dollars coming in. We see it on CNBC, and it's, you know, they're trying to tax it now. It's an asset. It's so I think I think people's greed want to see it be more adopted and not be that thing that can lead to liberty, freedom, and kind of like justice for us all, right? To kind of put it. So I think people are more they're more concerned about it being widely adopted and to be adopted. And I don't know if you watched the computer file video I did this morning, but the professor talked about that. Like, in order for something to be legitimized, it has to, in a society, it has to be bound within the parameters that the legacy system had. So I think we're trying to.
Okay, so they have to know how to use it.
Right, and they need to know how to control it more so. So I think Bitcoin is being pushed into that box. So, and being pushed into that box will mean more adoption, i.e. price appreciation too. So I don't know, man. You know, I think some of the bigger whales in Bitcoin, in crypto, honestly, probably for selfish reasons, want to see Bitcoin and the other cryptos put into that box so that they can see an appreciation in their value of their holdings. So,
right.
You know, that's kind of my take on it. I want to say that Michael Grubb, or Grob, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, Mike. I know you follow me on Twitter, so forgive me for that. He says that we need to be vigilant and ensure privacy coins become a priority. That's a good answer.
Exactly. That's where I'm at.
Yep. That's a good answer.
Yeah, because I think, you know, people can put a lot of energy into making this happen and getting it adopted, but if it ends up becoming poisoned or tainted in the process, then what's the point of it all?
Exactly.
You know, just moving from one corrupt system to another.
Exactly. And honestly, this system is worse if it's going to be, you know, used as the legacy system was, because now it's all paperless. You know, it's cashless, it's trackable. So it really, it kind of puts us in, it's more of a worse situation than prior if we allow that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm glad I found a channel like yours, and, you know, hopefully start to find more people that are willing to talk about these things, because, you know, I'm not always quick to put on the tinfoil hat or anything, but if someone's saying this is a major concern, then I think it's worth looking at, and it's worth making sure we get it right when it's something that, you know, affects, with crypto being global, it affects, you know, the entire world. So
yeah. So let me do a remote. I'm gonna remote view in to the end of this year into 2019, and I'm gonna say, okay, there it is. I think that privacy coins are going to be the biggest thing in 2018 and 19 going forward. So there you have it. I said it.
Yeah, man.
Privacy, get you some privacy coins. And I think those will do very well as we start to see, and we're going to see it, man. You're going to see more and more regulation. I don't blame them. It's, you know, I guess if I was on that side, I would be doing the same thing. I'm protecting what is mine, and what infrastructure I have to milk and take from the people. Good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, they got a job to do.
They have a job to do as well. So I'm not saying that, hell, I would be doing the same thing. So, yep.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Thanks for the call in, and I appreciate the support.
Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Crypt Blood? It's Brian Jones from Washington State.
Washington State. Brian, how are you today, man? I think you've called in before, too.
Yeah, I've called in a couple of times.
Yep.
Yeah, man, doing pretty good on this Saturday, man. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. Excited to talk to you guys. I love these Saturdays doing the live stream. So, yeah, I'm good today, though, man. Michigan is playing, I think, tonight, or I don't know when Michigan playing, University of Michigan. But yeah, we won. We spanked them. We spanked that ass the other day. You
definitely know more than me on that.
I don't know much either, man. I just watch it occasionally. But what's on your mind?
Oh man, yeah, you know, I was just calling in because, you know, you guys were kind of talking about most recently, you know, the privacy and anonymity behind, you know, the whole public ledger aspect, and I definitely agree. You know, that's a you know, that's something that not everyone wants, but a lot of people, like you mentioned, that have been in it for a while, you know, want that anonymity and don't want to be tracked. And you already mentioned it with the previous caller, but I do believe that, you know, 2018 will definitely be a big year for, you know, things like Monero and Cloak and some of the privacy coins.
Do you own any privacy coins right now?
Yeah, I do. Not
good.
Monero, but I do own some Cloak. And, you know, to be quite frank, I haven't needed to use them. Like, you know,
Right.
I haven't needed to use them for any purchases, but I like that, you know, in the crypto community that, you know, they see, as far as like the developers and whatnot, they they see the problems with, you mentioned the legacy systems and the old system, and slowly but surely, I know that they're working on second layers and different solutions, to implement anonymity, because if this revolution, if you will, is going to happen, then that's going to be something that people will eventually want, whether or not they realize it or not currently.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and go ahead.
Oh, one thing I was also going to mention, kind of to your point, to add on to your point with the last caller, is about the privacy coins, is also exchanges. A lot of them are centralized, and I think that in the next years, and as we progress, that decentralized exchanges will definitely become a bigger thing, and and that also once they become more usable and more user friendly for the average Joe, I think that'll be a pretty dang big deal. Where it's just going to be a lot harder to track.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, and and we shouldn't feel like we shouldn't feel bad for wanting privacy and feel like we are hiding something. No, it's not that people want to hide things that they're doing. It's just that we have the right to have privacy, and I think we've gotten so comfortable giving our data and allowing governments and companies, not just governments, but companies, our information. I think we forgot that we can, and it is our right to have some privacy. So.
Well, exactly. The argument that a lot of people against that say, similar to what you said, if you're not doing anything nefarious or anything like that, then, what's there to hide and things like that. And at the end of the day, it is a right. It's not. I don't want all of my information being sold to third parties and things like that. That who knows what they're going to use the information for. So, but yeah, I definitely think behind the scenes there's a lot of the developers are definitely hardworking. I've never seen visionaries with such a strong passion in this industry, to really transform and change the world. And, I think, the longer that, big corporations or, entities, if you will, that have a lot of power, the longer that they underestimate it, kind of the better, because that gives developers, this is at least the argument that I've heard, that gives, the community kind of more time to build its foundation,
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad that they've been slow to get on this. I agree with you on that. Definitely has given us more time to be creative. Humans are innovative, man. We're innovative creatures, and when there's a will, there is a way, and it'll happen. It'll happen for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, an interesting thing, to your point, if there's a will, there's a way. I don't know if you covered it yet. If you have, I haven't seen it, but about the Binance moving to I think Malta or something like that, where eventually some sort of ruckus was going on with Japan, and now Binance is kind of moving out of Japan. Have you talked about that much?
I didn't talk about it. I didn't even research it, but I did hear that in the chat rooms.
Yeah, I'll be quite frank. I haven't really done a whole bunch of research either on that. Not too much to talk about it. But what I did hear actually is that during this implementation they'll be able to allow U.S. dollars and not just be a crypto to crypto exchange, which would be huge for Binance if that is true.
Well, Malta is I do know this about Malta. They're very crypto friendly. They're actually, I believe, one of the first countries to really jump on with this whole come to Malta, set up your crypto business type thing. They were definitely out in the forefront. I do remember that years ago. So That's cool, man. And the thing is, man, to be honest with you, the countries that are that way are going to see huge benefits financially by allowing a crypto business to flourish in their jurisdictions and in their sovereign.
Right. I mean, right. I'm pretty sure it's like, what is it? Like Costa Rica, I think that a lot of U.S. people are moving to, because I'm pretty sure it's like a 4% flat tax, like something like that. Like, you know, kind of to your point, you know, just the point is, yeah, you know, people that are more, like governments in countries that are more welcoming, of course, you know, the innovators are going to move there. I mean, just look at what China did. You know, they kind of forced everyone, you know, out of China.
Correct.
So I know you asked me if I had, you know, privacy coins, and I do have coin. Do you have any, you know, privacy coins?
Yes, I do.
Okay, which ones do you have?
Monero is one that I have, and I have a little Z coin, but Monero is my biggest privacy coin stash. I've been meaning, and this is crazy, Cloak is a great project too. I always forget to mention them. They show me a lot of love on Twitter and stuff as well, but Cloak is a good one, and I was meaning to get Cloak right after Cliff said it in his report, like last July, I believe. And it was so low, man. Now that thing is crazy high. I would have done very well, but it's not so much about the price appreciation with these anonymous coins. For me, I'm just trying to support the movement. So I'll be acquiring some more Cloak.
Yeah, I completely agree. And yeah, you know, things like I was saying earlier, you know, second layer solutions and things like that, like just Lightning Network, for example. I know that won't give us complete privacy, but it'll definitely, you know, just the whole the onion routing aspect of it, like similar to Tor. That, right. You know, that's at least one step, you know, to this you know, to this whole privacy thing. And yeah, I definitely think, you know, the average consumer, kind of like you're talking about, is not necessarily worried about privacy. And it's crazy how many people just willingly, you know, Mark Zuckerberg said it, like, I have all this information, and like, how'd you get it? And he's like, they just typed it in. You know, like, that's crazy how many people just, you know, willingly give over their, you know, their personal information. And yeah, you know, I think in the future, as the old system starts to degrade, and, you know, as they start to structure more attacks on cryptocurrency, this is just a thought, then, you know, people are going to realize, oh my gosh, like, you know, privacy is a big deal, and, you know, maybe they should start looking into, you know, some of those options.
Correct.
And that's what I think that, like, you know, like I said, some of the developers are already working on right now, because they're pretty forward thinkers, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is, man. This is a wonderful community, so we will see progress in this category for sure, and I can't wait for it. Thanks again, calling in from Washington State. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, how you doing, Cleveland, Ohio? What's up,
Cleveland? What's going on?
Not much, man.
Bone
just finally
Thugs and
caught
Harmony.
Your show live. What's that?
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
That's right. That's right. I used to live in Tecumseh, Michigan. I used to live really, like, I used to hang out in Ann Arbor all the time.
Where is?
That's like 12 miles south of Ypsilanti, southeast of Ypsilanti.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I had to get out of there. I had to get back to Ohio. Sorry about you U of M fans, you know, up there.
Yeah, that's my team, man. I like U of M. What's the word,
but
man?
I'm Tony and I'm T-Pops too, man. I haven't commented in a while, but you know, I wanted to extend the conversation to this privacy issue.
Correct.
You know, my family, it's my friends. They're always like, you know, they'll say, well, if you got nothing to hide, just like the previous caller said, Brian.
Yeah, man,
I'm like, you pull your blinds down at night, you lick your envelopes right before you send them in the mail.
Right.
It's like, and who's to decide if, you know, something that you think is okay, they're going to decide is wrong. Like this guy, Count Dacula, right? Like in the UK, I don't know what's going on over there. He posts a joke on the internet, he could be going to prison for it.
Are you serious? I didn't hear
about
about
you
this.
haven't heard about?
No.
Oh, yeah. That's my other thing is the free speech thing, and that's what's been going on. Yeah, Count Dankula did a joke like 2 years ago. I'm sure a lot of the callers know about it.
What's his name?
He posted a video online. Count Dankula. Dankula, I think. So it's like...
Oh, I see it.
D-A...
Okay. Yep, I see it. Let me see. Go ahead. You can keep talking. I'm just going to pull this up.
Yeah, and basically, you know, the UK has hate speech laws, and they're arresting, on average here, like 9 people a day in the UK for posting. Oh, my God. Okay? So what's happening here is, like, slowly everywhere we're seeing this, you know, just infringement on our rights. What you think might be funny or okay, entertainment, now in the land of what used to be the Magna Carta, yep. You could be going to prison. Your family, it's not only you; it's your family now is shamed. So
that is insane. Yeah. So I've got. Go ahead. Keep going, man. I'm just pulling. I've got the article, an article about this topic pulled up while you're talking now.
Okay, so that's just my one example of why privacy is so important. I mean, you know, we pull our shades down, we lock our doors. You know, it's like we just want to have privacy because, you know, like the caller said, we're going to lose it. And that's why I think, like you said, the privacy coins are going to be huge. But also, I just don't know if people are going to care enough. You know, we got our phones. Everyone's getting used to being basically surveilled by their own admission. They're posting it on Facebook, like you said. So kind of like the new generation coming up has to be taught to really love these rights and appreciate what it gives and the ability to express yourself, like Jordan Peterson said.
Hey, man.
You might say something stupid.
What do humans do, though? We appreciate stuff once it's gone. so we'll be crying and wishing and hoping years from now when we don't have even the freedom that we do have now, when that's taken away, because it's just what it is, man. It inches further and further and encroaches further and further into our privacy, man. And that's why you have to draw a line. It's got to be black or white. You got to either allow people to have freedom of speech or not. It can't, because that's what happens. We start inching every year, every couple years. We'll end up being unable to. We'll be like China, you know. We'll be unable to have freedom of speech and expression of our feelings. I'm for if you're a Nazi, you're a KKK member. I actually want you to show that you are that way. So I know, you know, I actually respect that you have that view. I don't agree with it. I think it's bad and it divides the country and so, but I think you should be allowed to have whatever opinions and express them however you want, man. I'm sorry. I just feel like you're right. Be able to.
Because then they look stupid. We see where the stupid people are, and we leave them in their little corner.
You marginalize, right? So if you're able to freedom of speech, I think you'll marginalize those individuals. And they can be with their crew and do what they want, and the majority will not be that. So yeah, it's insane.
And man, the other thing I wanted to talk about, you said it, the totalitarian tiptoe is what I think David Icke calls it, as the boiling frogs analogy, which slowly just getting in there. But the other thing I want to talk about was J-Snip, I think, has become an entertainment channel, and I think we all know that and have to realize that.
Yeah. I think so, and that's cool. Just change the name. You know, call it something else. But yeah, if that's what he wants to do, that's cool, man. That's just not what I had originally followed him for many years about. And people change the direction they want to go, and that's fine. I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, I agree, and you got to be able to do your diligence, be able to parse through what people are trying to tell you, show you, entertain you, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And let's not make financial advice on a psychic. I wanted to ask you, what you thought about Jeff Berwick. I just think he's got the biggest balls to say what he does.
Oh my God, dude, let me tell you, this guy, I don't know how the hell, he's from Canada, so maybe he doesn't have as bad of or as scared as maybe some of us U.S. citizens are. But shoot, man, I wouldn't talk like that. Yeah, I respect him for
That's
it.
what I'm.
And I'm black too, so I'm like, I ain't really about to say nothing like that. But yeah, I respect him for it, man. I love Jeff Berwick's attitude about things. I may not always agree with everything he's saying, but he tells it how it is. And he was I was at the Bitcoin International Bitcoin Conference in Miami, and he was a keynote speaker. Was actually the last speaker of the conference. And he was just rocking, man. He was saying some really controversial stuff. It was true, but I was just like, wow, man, this guy is really out there. So
people thought that was cool. Like, people didn't walk out and like kind of like distance themselves. I saw that.
Huh?
I mean, I saw your conference. I saw your live feeds from there, and I saw that he spoke that.
Oh, okay. So you did see that. Yeah. So at first it was like people were a little bit uncomfortable. And as he continued to talk, you can tell just kind of just feeling the vibe from the room, the energy from the room. People were like, kind of like, oh yeah, he's right. And that's kind of how I felt. It was a little uncomfortable at first, but then people started to really lighten up, and I think really his message resonated pretty well. I was glad. Yeah, we need more people like man. Well, we need more people like him. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. People get killed for this stuff, man. It's real. That's what I'm saying, and it's just to see. Sometimes I'm just afraid for him every time I watch him talk. Yep. Or I think he's a limited hangout, which I'm like, no way. There's no way he can be a limited hangout. There's no way. Mm-hmm. But anyway, a limited hangout is basically like what, the sort of a Secret Service in the back end, basically. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you what that meant. Do you think to that point, because I've heard comments under the Snowden video I did. What do you feel about Snowden? Because I've heard people saying he's a shield for the CIA. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, how can he be a shield for the CIA when he ratted them out and he, because they were saying like Bitcoin. I don't know, man. It's very. I don't get it. Like, who? I
used to follow James Corbett Report. I remember.
I remember Corbett Report.
Yeah, they did a lot of reporting when Edward Snowden broke, and they called him a limited hangout. They said it was a possibility. Why? Well, maybe because he's placed there to let the American public become normalized over like 5, 6, 7 years that, oh, yeah, we're being watched. So as the news comes out that, oh, we're being watched, we become normalized to it. And then they get to go.
Yeah, to me, that's a huge reach, man. Because I don't think the stuff that he's leaking, oh my man, this is some groundbreaking stuff, man. I'm sorry, I don't like.
But what are we doing? What are we doing about it?
Oh, that's just because
we're like almost powerless.
Well, no, that's just because we're as people, we're brainwashed. So the energy or the criticism needs to be reversed, not on Snowden. It's us. We need to look ourselves in the mirror. It has nothing to do with him, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but
right. No, I agree, and he might even be. Never know with a limited hangout. He could be a limited hangout, and not even know it. I mean, this world is so complex and nuanced. In the middle of it, it's insane. The gray area is way more than just the white and the black.
Yeah, that's true. Is Corbett still on YouTube and stuff?
He does post occasionally, but because of the backlash and the censorship, he's moved on to a lot of the other decentralized and other platforms.
I thought so. I didn't really see him too much as I used to.
Yeah, he's done with YouTube, and I don't blame him. I mean, they're like knocking off a bunch of channels that they're pulling off, gun channels right now.
Yes, man. My man Nick from Truth Blitz told me about that. I didn't even know about that. I like Hitchcock 45. I watch his stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is, see what I'm saying, man? It's just slowly but surely.
It's happening. I want to leave some time for other callers. It is an honor and a pleasure. And save my number.
Oh, you know what? I try to save people. It doesn't save it. So you just got to call me in, let me know, and I'll remember you.
You got it. All right. I want to let some other callers talk. It's been an honor. Take care.
All right, brother. Take care.
Crypto Blood, what's happening?
What's going on?
Chaos.
Chaos. What's good? Chaos from Mississippi?
Nah, close, but no cigar though. I'm from Carolina. No, I'm from Carolina. Yeah, I stay in Georgia.
Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, hey man, if you and them win, they got an easy road to the championship.
Oh yes, sir. Let's give a matter of fact, I don't even have the soundboard. I was gonna give a round of applause, but what I will do is I'll give one of those real quick. But yeah, man. So what's on your mind? You need a
bomb drop.
Right, I need a clue bomb drop.
Yeah, you did a clue bomb drop. So about the privacy coins, I bought some cloak. I bought some cloak before, but I sold them all and I put them in my little PPT stash. But now I'm back to hoarding again. I'm up on the Komodos right now, but I'll be back on the cloak soon.
Yeah, Komodo is another one, man. It's a lot of good projects out there. Definitely, a lot of good projects.
Right.
But the
whole thing about the privacy, that's all. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll say after you.
No, what I was going to say about the whole privacy issue, all this whole, worry about the privacy thing could have been stemmed off, a long time ago, especially back in the inner cities, when the minorities was complaining about, the stop and frisk, people infringing on their rights.
Yeah,
if everybody would have came together, yeah. Like right now, I'm riding through St. Louis. Man, it looks terrible out here.
Oh man, St. Louis, worse than Detroit.
I'm riding through St. Louis, way worse than Detroit.
Yep.
So if everybody would have came together back then when when they was complaining about the stop and frisk and all this other stuff, I don't think we would have gotten this far.
Yeah.
But then again, I say that, but it all could have been part of the plan. Just like your last caller said, I forgot what term you used. I say controlled opposition. I forgot what he said.
I forgot what he said. I've never heard that before. Let me see. He said, because someone in the chat room said it. He said loose hangout or something. Loose hangout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited hangout.
Well, it's the same thing as limited hangout. It's the same thing as controlled opposition. You got to put a hero in place, make it seem like he did something for the people. But, it could all be a part of the plan, because I'm pretty sure that the United States government got something more powerful than what Snowden did drop, even though he did drop a bomb, he dropped some major stuff.
He dropped some major stuff.
They probably got some, I tried to learn how to use it, but.
Yeah, but, I think he's got more documents to be released, if I'm not mistaken. He's strategically dropping this stuff out, so we'll see what he has in the future.
And what I'm thinking too is, all right, this is the United States government we're talking about. If they wanted to take him out, they can easily go take him out over in Russia. That shouldn't be no problem.
You think so?
Just like Assange, he was up in the Ecuador embassy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can take these people out if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? They got sneaky ways on how to do all that stuff,
Yeah.
They've been assassinated for a long time.
That's true. It can go both ways, though. I've heard people say this, and sometimes I believe this holds true as well. Sometimes we give the governments and stuff, I don't know who said, maybe it was Jim Willie or Gerald Salente. We give the governments too much credit sometimes, like they aren't gods, they don't know everything. So I don't know. It could go either way. I'm kind of indecisive. I'm not sure. I'm up in the air about how to what extent the U.S. Intel program can go. I'm not too sure. I'm sure I'll never know. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
man.
I just know I'm gonna stack these. These privacy tokens, especially the cloak and the Komodo. Just because they're cheaper, and they got good projects with them. Especially the Komodo, they did the atomic swap with the Poplin.
Yeah.
Or the Pokin.
Yep.
So that's another. It proved that it worked. So
Yeah.
maybe when this bear market is over, we should look good.
Yeah, I think really though the real use case will be once a lot of e-commerce merchants start accepting privacy coins. That's when we'll see the true value, because then we can shop in private, we can purchase things, actually utilize these tokens in a private way. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing that first big e-commerce site or service start to accept these Cloak and Z-Coin, Zcash, and Monero tokens and coins, I should say. So hopefully we'll see that coming.
Yeah, I hope so, because they're great concepts, and they're actually working. So I'll just be on the lookout for them. But until then, I just keep buying them, $200 at a time.
There you go.
Yo, CB, it's me again from Cleveland, T-Pops 2. I figured if no one's calling, I wanted to ask you about one other thing.
Absolutely. You're the last caller, so let's talk.
Hey, did you see that thing on Bitcoin Ben the other day, how he suspects MI6?
Oh, I forgot to.
Him?
Yes, I did. I ended up going to watch the video. I keep hearing about Bitcoin Ben. That video was actually the first video I've watched of Bitcoin Ben. So I'm not familiar with him, but I did watch that video. He wanted Bix to. I think he said he wanted Bix to talk about it or something, right?
Yep.
That's interesting. What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I don't know what's true, but what he found out, from what I can remember, and you saw the video as well, was that he did a little digging, saw that the IP address came from a building in London. It was owned by some company, something named Cirque, and then that was tied to an MI6 corporation in the way that it was tied to the way that they signed up under their corporation there.
Yeah, and it was tied to BitConnect, right?
Yeah, yes, that's it. That's a key ingredient. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. That they set up BitConnect.
I can believe that.
It made sense.
It made sense.
It all went to the Queen. So the Queen ripped everybody off. She's sitting there like that.
Man. Hold on. I gotta do a horn for that.
You did it.
Yo.
Cause man, she's on half my silver.
Yo, if that is the truth, hey, I can believe it. Because BitConnect was it was a well-run machine. I knew it was a Ponzi scheme from the beginning. I knew that.
Right.
But yeah, hey man. I don't know, man. I actually think I believe that one. I think I'm gonna go. I'm not the most conspiratorial type of individual, but it was convincing. That was convincing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the UK, they used to have an empire, but now they got an island. They settled back. They made their little city of London, put like 300 banking corporations in there, and just like control everyone with the money. Man, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
to me.
Who owns it? We still don't really know, do we? Who owns BitConnect and all of that, do we?
No, not at all.
That is crazy. That makes no sense, man. How can we not know the biggest, they call it lending, that's some bull, the biggest Ponzi scheme that I've seen in Bitcoin, and we don't know who's behind it? They're having conferences. How are they having conferences and no one knows? It's just weird, bro. So yeah, I did see that. I will try to drop for people who did not see Bitcoin Ben's video, I will try to drop a link to that in the description of this video after we're done with the live stream. Man, So you believe that too? You think that's true?
You know, I try not to believe anything. I like to tend to want to believe that. Like, it's a great story, man, and the best story wins, you know? Like, really, in the end, that's really what happened.
Right, because we normally never really know what the true story of many of the big things are. But so does Bitcoin Ben? So he said in his video that he went over to London or went over. So is he from the U.S.? Does he live in the U.S. or does he live in the U.K.?
As far as I know, Bitcoin Ben lives in the U.S. He's a truck driver. I've only recently just got, recommended to him. So I've seen like a couple videos. Seems like he's got a nice family. Seems like a good guy driving trucks.
Adam Leo said he's in the U.S. So he went over to the U.K.
Yeah, I think he went over there. He's like, he knows some people. He's like, I got some friends, man, and you don't mess with Bitcoin Ben.
Wow. Well, shout out to Bitcoin Ben. My man Steven Slomon says he's from St. Louis. Okay, yeah. I knew he was a truck driver, but I didn't. It kind of threw me for a loop because he said he was over there in the UK and he drove up to the place and stuff. I'm like, dang, I thought he was. But okay, that makes sense. Yeah, man, that's deep, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with that one.
I wanted to throw that in, kind of cap your live stream off.
That was a good,
like crazy.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Revolution.
Yep, that was a good one, man.
Right on, man. Well, I'll let it go at that. And, man, I got a million things to say about Cliff because I've been listening to Cliff since, like, 2011 and 2012. And we can talk about that kind of stuff later. But it was all Cliff. I listened to him for 3 years before I started buying my first Bitcoins, man.
Nice. Yeah, me too. Well, I was already in Bitcoin, but he what was it, maybe 2016 is when he kind of really started talking about.
No, it was actually
2015,
like 2014, 2015. Yeah,
in his reports.
No, he used to have Wujo's podcast that you could download from Half Past Human like every week. And, I mean, they were way out there. I've got them all saved. But he used to talk about Bitcoin all the time, way before anyone had ever heard of it. I remember, like, 2011, 2012. You guys had. I mean, I hadn't. And it was, like, what, $9-10? And he was given the predictions. And, it was when it was doing his numbers from, like, 408 back down, back to 408. And he hit those numbers.
That was
like,
amazing.
That's when I bought.
Yep, that was amazing when he was doing that. So that's what's up, man. Steve Slammin. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of your name, but I would check out Bitcoin Ben. Someone else said he would be a good guest on my show. I may have to definitely reach out to him on that as well. But man, thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to talk about that, and I'm glad you brought that up. Amazing. I'm gonna drop the link to that.
T-Pops 2, I'm out. You peace out, you guys.
All right, man. Take care, bro.